Welcome back to another daily cribbage. Let's dive into a quick game against Greg. Who is Greg? Is Greg one person or all of these people? We'll never know. All I know is that we've got an 8-point starting hand and have a chance to get a go. One go. Can we get another go? Ooh, if they go a 4 here, then I at least get a longer run. I don't want to give them lots of points by playing the 6 first. Okay, 13 points for opponents. Very nice looking hand for them as pawn. We don't quite get our 15, but we do get a lot of spades. Look at this. Well, let's keep all those high spades. Let's keep a low one as well. 5 does help us a little bit. We'll go 9. And I don't want that. I don't want that pair. I will try and play safe. 3, 4, 5, and 10. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 for our opponent. So nice 8 points. It does give them a bit of a lead, but we got to the positional milestone first. Okay, ace 2, ace 7, 2, 7, ace 2, I think. 3 is excellent, really excellent. Let's just go up to 5. Let's get that out of the way first. And we'll go 23 here because our opponent doesn't have many 8s. Oh, I guess they have 4, 4 actually. That was a possibility. Yeah, I didn't think about the 4, 4s. But we dodge all of that. And we got a nice double run in the crib. Huge. Alright. This is looking good for us until we have to make a painful choice. We got ace 2 to 10. Got 6, 9. How do you balance this? Do you go ace king? The worst of both worlds. Do you want to keep ace ace 2, throw the 6, 9? Let's just go for 4 points. That's fine by me. It turns into 6 points. Or 8 points, sorry. Yeah, let's have nothing to do with that. And let's get rid of that 9. Okay, so our opponent has a lot of 6s now. Here comes a 6. No? Okay, an 8. Alright, so we actually dodged a point there, but of course the 9 on top means our opponent has a double run, so didn't dodge too much. We got to the next positional milestone before our opponent, and we're looking like we're looking to be a bit behind, but as long as we keep up some good points, like this 3, we're going to be fine. No fear. 15. Some powerful plays coming out. Alright, 2 points in the crib. Pretty normal. Ace 2, double 3. Have to give them double 7. Sure. We're ace 2, double 3. This is how we get to 70 points. Let's start with a 2. Oh no, okay, this is this is the worst thing ever. Let's show them no fear. 2, okay, 2, 8. It's kind of scary. I assume they've got lots of 5s and 8s here. Okay, our opponent has a 2 and a 4. Okay, well, they did give us a few points in the end, but they don't get much from their hand or the crib. They got loads of points on the play. Look at that. 9 points. Let's come back later and analyze how our opponent managed to extract so many points from us there. Okay, we'll go ace on this. And we can pair this 10. That is, yeah, this is the reason why leading low cards can actually be bad. So that it's often very challenging when you give your opponent the ability to start off with a low run, because if you start off with a low run, your opponent will be the one to finish playing the low runs, and your opponent often gets more low runs. Let's lead a jack here, and everything's fine. We don't need points. Points are all yours. We are just signaling to our opponent that we have a 10 at the end, but they don't have a jack to capitalize. We are just cruising along, nothing to worry about until our opponent gets, I don't know, 24 points in the crib. That hasn't happened yet. Ace 2 3 7. 7 famously doesn't combo with Ace 2 3, but how about Ace 7 in the crib? 2 4 6. Yeah, let's just do that. We're happy to go slowly and give ourselves lots of points. We don't need to worry about getting really big scores. Our opponent's the one that needs to take all the risks to try and get into a position where they can score well. 102 versus 112. Yeah, this is an odd position. The 8s are already good for us. There's no reason to keep 779. We'll split up the 2, make it pretty safe. We've got 6 points in hand here. We will lead a 7. Why not? If our opponent plays an 8, we'll just... okay, and now we can play this 5, because no matter what our opponent does, if they get a run here, we get to score on top, which will give us enough points to go out. And if they don't do that, then we manage to sneak our 5 through. The only thing that we were scared of is if they paired our 5. Okay, and we're looking to try and go out on the next play, or even the next score. Actually, our opponent is falling really short. Okay, what do we like here? There are some 2-card Magic 11s. We should keep the best playability, though. What's the best playability? Maybe it's like this. Hand that looks completely random, but that's what endgames do for you. Yeah, we go the 8 here. Clear, because if they play a 7, then we just go out. And then the 4. Then the 3. Opponent has revealed 2 points. I guess a lot of cards give them more points. Okay, so there you go. Not many points for our opponent, and we get there. All right, all pretty plain sailing. Let's see what happened on that strange hand where our opponent had 2 points, but he managed to extract 9 points from us on the play. And here we are. So we kept Ace 2 double 3, a pretty nice hand. We're at 61 points, our opponent's at 57. We hit a 10 on top, which gives us a 12-point hand, so we're guaranteed to make the next positional milestone at 70. And the question was, the first question, what should we lead? Well, I decided to go for a 2 in this case, because I had dreams of having a pair of 3s come up on the play later. Of course, leading a 3 or an ace, I think that leading the ace is probably the thing I do least often. And the thing that I do most often here is usually leading the 3, because it leaves open the possibility to go triple 3, which is quite nice. Why did I decide to go 2 here? It's because I like to mix things up from now and again, just to see how they fare. And of course, we know that a perfect strategy is a mixed strategy, so we should lead 2 some of the time here, even if it's very, very close to 0. We should have some occasions where we have double 3 ace left over for some reason. So what happened? Well, we played the 2 and we got paired straight away, which is sort of the worst thing to happen because now we only have aces and 3s left. So we don't have a 10 that would allow us to jump here up to, say, 14, which would put us in a nice position because if we had, say, ace 2 3 10, a kind of hand that we have very often, we have the ace in hand in order to pair an ace that our opponent might play in order to get 15. So what did we do? We have to make a tough decision. If we play the ace, then opponent doesn't have as many 3s, but if we play our opponent doesn't have many 3s, but they could just go up to 15 with the 10, and we're just left with double 3. Perhaps that's the best thing to do. Play the ace. Then the worst thing to happen to us would be for the ace to get paired. Our opponent is starting to figure stuff out about our hand after this play, though. So something that I don't really think about too much, but it's something that exists, is you can work out you can start figuring out what your opponent knows about your hand. You can think about the public information that you've revealed. So after we go ace, and then after we go 2 and then 3, what we're saying is the best card in our hand to have played in this situation is a 3. In particular, we haven't played any 10s. We haven't decided to jump up at all. So in some sense, we're saying, hey, we've got loads of cards that are grouped together. If you start to engage with us in a battle of runs, so if you play a 4 here, we're gonna do really well. We're telling our opponent, you're not going to come out looking good after all of these runs because we've got lots more low cards than you, which in a sense is what we've got. We're playing our hand fairly face up. If we had a 10, then we probably would jump after that pairing. And if we had a 2, we would have probably tripled the 2 because that's a lot of points. There's an argument for not tripling the 2 because if you really feared the quad, if you feared your opponent having quad 2, you'd want to avoid that because that would get your opponent to the next positional milestone instantly. So you'd start being quite a bit behind. So there's a good reason not to triple the 2 here, especially if you already know we've made the 70. So we go 2 2 3. I think this is fine. Our opponent plays an 8. So far we know our opponent has 2 8. What could they have? Well, I was saying in the game, they could have hands centered around the combo 2 5 8. 2 5 8 with any of those cards paired, especially if they have a pair of 5s, that would be 10 points. So that's probably the hand that we're going to be playing against. So, but having said that, a pair of 5s doesn't score any extra points here on the play. It's completely inert compared to our hand. We don't interact with a pair of 5s. So what are hands that we interact with that we could play against? Well, maybe there are things like with 6 7. If our opponent has 6 7 left, then we should probably play the ace. Because if we play the 3, our opponent has... No. I was thinking wrong here. I was thinking that 3 plus 6 plus 7 is 16, but of course we get to play 2 cards, so actually not much happens with 6 7. Our opponent only gets to play 1 card. And what else? For our opponent has 7 8 8, something like this. Again, it's all fairly inert. The only thing we're worried about really is our opponent having more low cards. So what do? we go with the 3 up to 20. If our opponent has a 10, they might feel comfortable to play up to 30. Opponent plays a 2, and so let's see that again. We get 3 points for the run. Our opponent gets 4 points for the run. So in a way, our 3, so after 2, 2, 3, that 3 pays off in a sense because our opponent was scared to go into the complications that arise if they play a 4. That is, if our opponent plays a 4, we get to play an ace and get a run of 4. Opponent does get to reply with a 2 after that, which nets them 4 points as well. But after we play our ace, after we play our 3, we get another 4 points. So we actually come out ahead at the end there, and the opponent would finish off the round with an 8. So yeah, our opponent does well there actually to avoid those complications. Holding only 2, 2, 4 in their hand, they didn't want to risk all of the runs. So overall there, we ended up losing quite a lot on the play, so we only got 3 points out of that for that run towards the end, and our opponent managed to squeeze out 9 points, which is very nice. It got them to the positional milestone, but only after we got there. So I think that's all the comments I have for this game. I think the takeaway is to watch out for what you lead here. Leading the 2 led to all these complications. Maybe we shouldn't lead 2 in such situations. But of course, this is a low percentage play, so this happens sometimes. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.